Okay, third video today. And you know what? I may do four, you guys. We'll see. I'm kind of thinking I might want to do a few little examples for you after I finish this. I'm doing some along the way too, so we'll see how it goes. Okay, Pathfinder menu. Okay, so what this deals with is, in design terms, is what I call the interrelationships of form. Now, what designers are always having to deal with is what happens when two shapes come in contact with each other. We have to make decisions. Sometimes, it's type and over a background. So if you wanted your type to be able to read over the background, we've got to make a decision. What happens when those two forms came together? Maybe the type has to change color or the background has to change value. Sometimes when we design a logo, we'll have one shape cross over another, and we have to decide if we want that crossover to punch out and be negative or to change colors or whatever it may be. So this interrelationship of form idea or concept is really an important thing to be aware of and understand. So that's what the Pathfinder menu really is. It lets us take multiple shapes, overlap them, and then make decisions about what happens when they overlap. And we can use that to do all kinds of things to our advantage. So here's what I mean. I'm going to start with just some basic boxes. Okay, and I'm gonna keep them simple, black filled in shapes, just so you can see. Okay, and I'm going to click an Option Shift and make two boxes. Only reason I held Shift key down was so I could drag it straight across, and I didn't have to do that. Just a little recap from our earlier tutorials. I could have clicked on the shape and gone to Edit, Copy, Edit, Paste, but why do that? That's too slow. It's easier just to click on it, hold on the Option button, and drag away from it. That makes two. Okay, so I've got two shapes. I'm going to overlap them like that. Now it looks like now I just have one shape, but I still have two. If I can click on the first one, you can see where it is, and there's the second one. It just looks like one because they're all black. When you use this Pathfinder menu, they can be any color you want or whatever you want to do. But here's how it works, and there's some basic rules. I'm going to separate Pathfinder here so you guys can really see it. There it is. You have to have more than one shape. That's rule number one. So I've got two shapes. I could have 10. You just have to have more than one. You have to use your black pointer tool and have all of your shapes selected. So if you just select one of the shapes and expect this to work, it won't work. So you got to get them both highlighted like that. Now you're ready to use a Pathfinder. And there's different things they do, and the little graphics will kind of describe them. So like this first button that says Unite, watch what happens when I click that. It now did turn those two boxes into one. Look at that. That's one shape. One little weird, funny little shape. Okay? I can fill it in with color or whatever I want to do to it, and it's just seen as one shape now. So that's helpful. I'm going to undo this. Oh yeah, by the way, you guys, if you want to undo your work in Illustrator, it has like a million undos. It's Control Z or Command Z. Or I don't even remember where it is in the menu anymore. That's how bad I am. It's just, I know the shortcuts. Command Z or Control Z. You can back up multiple steps. Okay, so I'm going to take the two boxes, overlap them again. Remember, that was rule number one. Rule number two, select them both. Let's see what the second one does. It's called minus front. And you see what happens when I hover my mouse over any of these things? If you hover your mouse over anything in Illustrator, it tells you what it is with a little pop-up that pops up. See, so this one tells me this is minus front. Click on it, and it subtracted the front. The front's gone. Now, it just left what was back here. So it saw that as the front because that's the one that's on the top. See how it's on the top? If you're not sure it's on the top, you can go to Object, Arrange, and bring it to the front. Or if you just want to test your work, watch what happens if I make this a different color. Select both of them, minus front. It negates the front color. See that? If the back one would have been a different color like this, and I select both of those, it's going to make them the color of the back one. Okay, that's minus front. I'm going to keep them different colors because that makes it easier for you to see what I'm doing. Okay, now look at this third one. Okay, step number one, two shapes. Overlap them in whatever way you want. Select them both. This third Pathfinder is called Intersect. Now check this out. Click on that. It just gave me what was in the middle. Now, you might be able to use that. Let's say you get a shape you like, and I'm going to show you how to use that actually in a little bit. The intersect takes what's in the middle and makes it the color of the shape that's on top. This last one's called exclude. And watch what this does. Select both shapes that are overlapping and exclude them, and it punches out what's in the middle. When I say punches out, that white square in the middle now is a hole. And notice it punched it out to whatever color was in the front. So if I select them both, I exclude them. Well, it's kind of like a cool logo maybe, doesn't it? And look, I can prove to you that that's open. I can draw a box, cover the whole thing with a box that's, purple. Go to Object, Arrange, and send it to the back, and you'll be able to see through the hole. So this is how I tested my work. So I've got a shape in the background. I've got this new shape that I made in the foreground. It's got a hole in it. So if you were making a logo that was going to appear on like a ball cap or on a shirt or something, where you had the color of the fabric that you wanted to show through the graphic everywhere, you have to create these knockouts like that so the ink or the fabric would show through the spaces, through the holes. Okay, and then we've got some more Pathfinders in the bottom here. They do different things. And you guys, I'm going to admit, I don't use all these. Very rarely have I used, I don't know if I've used all of the Pathfinder features, but here's my two shapes again. Now this next one's called divide. Now this is interesting. Check this out. I overlap them. I select them both. I divide them. Now I can take my white pointer tool and I can click on the parts. See that? And I have to use my white pointer tool to do that. Okay, so here's my shapes. Let me start again just so you guys don't get lost with me. Got my two shapes. I overlap them any way I want to. When I select them both and when I divide them, it creates cuts everywhere they cross over. So you can see where these cuts are going to be, right? We know we're going to be left with three shapes once this divides. This upper right shape, the lower left shape, and the shape in the middle. So I'm going to divide them. Now, but it won't let you separate them if you're using the black pointer tool. See that? It won't let me click off and click on the edges, on the parts I want to move. So that's why you have to use the white pointer tool for that. Now, people forget that. Don't click on the edge with it, because if you click on the edge with it, it highlights the edge and gives you access to the path, and we don't want that. Not in this case. I mean, you might want to change the shape of it, play with your points. That's cool. But divide now lets you split this all apart. Now look, I made another interesting logo shape. And the next one, what's this next one called? Trim. Oh boy, I don't want to use that one. Merge, crop. You can kind of see what they do. I'm not going to go through them all because I don't have time. But they all work the same way. So, and I don't really have a good example for the rest of these. But merge maybe. Merge is similar to unite. Crop is very similar to intersect. Slightly different context. I've never used outline in my life, and minus back is just like minus the front. Okay, so here's how you could use this maybe on an infographic. Check this out. like for a pie chart maybe. Got a circle, right? I want to create a piece of pie that I can make a different color on that circle. Sounds complicated, but it's really not. I'm going to take my rectangle tool and draw a box. I'm going to make the square be a different color. And I want to overlap it on here, kind of where I want my pie piece to be. And this could be different widths and shapes and sizes. I'm just keeping it simple. Okay, so you overlap them, you select them both like that. I'm going to use divide again. So watch this. I'm going to divide it, and you can't tell anything's happened. If I click off of it, grab my white pointer tool, and click on this outer piece, I can move it off. Don't need that anymore. I'm going to delete it. So now I have this green piece and this orange piece. I can make that orange piece be whatever color I want for my pie chart. I could come back with my text tool and add text out here. Pie is good. Highlight just the word pie and make it be white. And now I'm just being silly. Okay, so this is the Pathfinder menu. It works with multiple shapes, and you could have a bunch of boxes, and the same thing will happen for you. I'm in a very green mood today. Can you tell? Spring break is over for me tomorrow. I'm going to go back to I've got 3 classes I'm teaching on ground that all starts tomorrow. That's just crazy. Okay, so it won't affect my class with you guys though, I promise. Okay, I'm gonna select all these, and I'm gonna try exclude. Look what it did. See, it treated all of them as. And the thing about when you use a Pathfinder, it converts everything into one united whole after that. So the problem is you can't go back and undo it or start again unless you literally undo your moves. Command Z. But if you apply a Pathfinder to that and save it and come back Thursday and want to separate all those boxes again, you won't be able to do that. See, this is one new piece. Okay, I know these are fast, but I hope they're helpful. Pathfinder menu. If you have any questions, ask. I put up a great link for a new book on the announcement section. They're the visual quick start guides for all these programs, and they're really good because you can just look up something like a title of something. You could look up Pathfinder, and there'll be a chapter on it, or you could look up the pen tool, and there'll be a chapter on it. So that's why I like that book. It's very sequential like that, and you have a good starting point of reference. Okay, you guys, let's have a good week. I'll talk to you later.